What's up, Gram fam? It's Faith Daniels, and you are tuned into the yard, and I am here with Grambling State University's head football coach, Mickey Joseph. How are you doing today?
How you doing, Fade? I'm doing fine.
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to be sitting down with you, and we're going to start with a game. Okay? Two truths and a lie. So you have to tell me two of your truths, one lie, and I have to guess what the lie is.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Truth about myself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Football player, but head in the head. Um, my mama runs my life. I'm really good in marriages, and I'm a bad football coach.
So I'm going to assume the bad football coach is the lie.
That's the lie.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to assume you have a very impressive record. So I want to say to you, welcome home.
Mm-hmm.
This is not your first stint here at Grambling.
No.
You started in 2014 as a position coach, and we're just so happy, to have you back. Whenever the position opened, what made you decide to put your name in the hat?
Well, this probably was the only FCS job in the state that I would have pursued. With the national brand, and I had a good time last time I was up here in Grambling. I really enjoyed the folks here. They got good people up here. They're personable. So then when the job came open and Dr. Scott got in touch with me, it was okay. Let's move forward with it. After I talked to Robbie, my agent, and my brothers, they was like, yeah, I think that's a good opportunity for you. Because there's not many positions as far as head coaches, and this was one of them, and this was one I wanted.
When you received the call from Dr. Scott that you'll be leading the G-Men this season, where were you? What were your initial thoughts, and how did you feel?
Well, I was in Omaha. I was in Omaha, Nebraska, at my condo in Nebraska, and he called me on Friday and said, "Hey, we want to do the press conference on Monday." So I had to get some things together and get situated before I came out. But it was an exciting time. My agent reached out to my agent so he can start working on the contract to get everything straight. Spoke to my brothers, and they were like, okay, get things straight, get down there and take a look at the place. And I knew being here before what it was going to look like. So it wasn't a really surprise when I got here, the things that we had to do to improve and the things that was already put in place. But it still was a great opportunity.
So during your press conference, you made a very powerful statement when you said you and your staff are here to restore the order. What does restore the order entail for you and for your team?
Well, I think for Grambling is this, that everybody's going to respect Grambling just because it's the G, because we're Coach Rob, Coach Doug, Broadway, Fives, beating up on people, and so they were going to get the respect. So I knew with Grambling, this was going to be every team Super Bowl. But when I say restore the order, it means bring the dominance back, that we start dominating. We hadn't been dominating the last couple of years, but we still had the people still respect us, but we hadn't been dominating. So it was just putting everything back in order, say, okay, let's restore this order. Let's get this thing back where Grambling runs the SWAC and runs HBCU. So that's what restore the order to me and my staff was.
Okay, so I want to take it all the way back to Marrero, Louisiana, which is where you're from. Who introduced you to the game of football? Who put your first football in your hand?
Well, my mom and my dad, because, just the neighborhood that we grew up in, a lot of people didn't get out of there. You got out of there two ways, growing up. You got out of there through death or through going to jail. So I grew up seeing that. And my dad knew that if I wasn't active, that I would fall in the hands of that, situation. So, it was 6 years old, 7 years old, put a football in my hand. I played at Nicholson Playground, then, got older and kept going on. Then that's when my brothers came along. And so my dad and my mom really looked out for me because, my mom had me when she was 19 years old and my dad was 21, and so they were a young couple. So I'm kind of, they test everything out on me. So, but to keep me out of trouble, to keep me, make sure I was on the right track, they made me play football, they made me run track, and they made me play baseball.
Okay, so you're a man of many talents. Now I'm
not gonna say baseball is your talent, but I did it because my dad was a baseball player. So every Sunday we went with my dad to his softball game. So he introduced us to the game of baseball. So we just had to play sports year round.
Okay, so your father is Robert Sr.
Yes.
And you are Robert Jr.
Yes.
But you go by Mickey. Who gave you that nickname?
My Auntie Pearl gave me that nickname. She said I had big ears, and so I had big ears, so she called me Mickey. And so it just kind of stuck with me, and that's the name that I grew up with.
Did you know whenever you were younger that you always wanted to be a quarterback, that you always wanted to have a leadership role?
Well, I really didn't have a choice because that's what my dad told me that I had to be, that I had to play quarterback. So I really did, and I played running back sometimes because I was a good runner. But just as far as quarterback, it was like, this is what you're going to be. And my dad always said, leaders are born. Leaders are not made. So he's always said, you're a born leader. He's like, but you got to get out your own way. He said, you gotta figure out some things. You can be, have poor impulse control. And I had all that growing up. I tell people I wasn't perfect growing up, but I had my dad and my mom, and I had the community, just to make sure that they kept their thumb on me. But I always, enjoy playing quarterback because I like being a boss. I like telling people what to do, but it happens to me because I got girls now, and they tell me what to do, so it backfired on me with them. But quarterback was always a natural position because my brother Vance played it, my cousin Derek played it, Sammy played it a little bit. Then he said, nah, he went to corner. But so it runs in our family.
Okay, so you do have 3 girls and 3 boys, and your dad is a huge influence on why you play sports. Have you influenced your children to play sports? Is it a non-negotiable, or do they have a choice?
They have a choice. They have a choice. My daughter Maya is the smartest one out the bunch before as academic wise, and she does have common sense. So she's a lot like me, but she's a little smarter than me. She's 35 on ACT.
Okay.
And Melania, the youngest one, she's the small one, and the Micaiah, the oldest girl, she's small. Now the boys have been raised different. They get it. They get the issue from me. So they get raised a little tougher than the girls.
So you're nicer to your daughters than
Yes.
to the sons. Okay. I feel like that's honest. I think you should. You have to be more delicate, with young
Yes,
ladies. Yes.
you got to say yes.
Yes. Don't say no.
They don't call you and say, "Can you do this? This is what I need you to do."
Yes.
So you fall in that trap.
As you should. So do your sons play football, basketball, baseball? What sports do they play?
Mickey Rain, the youngest, he plays baseball. He's a
Okay.
baseball player. We won't start playing football for a while.
Okay.
We won't. The other 2 boys work, but we won't start playing football with the youngest until he probably gets in high school, just because of the concussion things, and we know more. With your 6-year-old, you start getting hit, your brain start getting shifted around a little bit. So when you're 18, look how many years you don't play football. So I think people starting to get a little smarter now and let the kids play flag, and then in high school, introduce them to tackle.
Outside of coaching, do you have any other hobbies that,
No.
none?
No, no, I just do football. I do football. No, not really. I fall asleep if I watch TV. It's boring.
Okay.
But not really. A hobby like golf. My brother they golf. I don't do that. I go with them. Ride in the cart, but I don't golf. I don't have anything to do with football.
Do you have a favorite sports movie?
Not really.
You don't have a docu-series that you love?
No, because I no.
You live the life, so
Yeah, so
your favorite one.
well,
favorite
I
movie
do
is-
look at it, and I do, watch documentaries and stuff like that. Like the 30 for 30 with Miami Hurricanes. I like that because I played against some of those guys, and they were really dudes like that. But I really don't have a favorite TV show because I try to dedicate a lot to football, and it gets you in trouble with family sometimes because sometimes you disappear, because especially after a loss, because I take losing hard, and it kind of it does something to me that I got to get better at, because it stings, and it stays for a long time. So after a loss, I'm really a different person, so I'm trying to be a better person now with my kids. So sometimes they'll go 3 days, and they'll reach out and like, "Dad, you okay?" They know. So everybody's been calling me. Like Sunday, it started like, "Okay, y'all got to get on him because he'll disappear." And it's just because you put so much in it, and you're so competitive, and you try to figure out where you went wrong at, and you're responsible for a large group of people, to try to snap them back because it hurt them also. So you have a lot of responsibility. So, but as far as losing really hurts, it stings me because I thought I was put on this earth to win every game, but it just didn't happen that way. So, but that's why you put so much into it, but it does get you in trouble with family.
Okay. How is your mental health? Being a head coach at an HBCU in Grambling, Louisiana, there is a lot of pressure. As we talked about earlier, Grambling is known for football, their legacy, Eddie Robinson, Doug Williams, Shaq Harris. How is your mental health with having?
Well, I think the mental health's good, because I think Grambling just how Nebraska was. It was just how LSU was. The only difference now, I'm sitting at the front of the table. LSU, I sit close to the front of the table, and Nebraska, I sat at the front of the table. So it's the same type of pressure. Everybody wants to win. Everybody's not satisfied unless you win. They don't care how you win. They want you to win. They don't care what you have. We want you to win. And we always have the saying in our building, why complain? Because at the end of the day, that ball's going to kick off on Saturday. So, mental health is big, big these days. When we were growing up and I was playing, nobody ever brought that up. That was a sign of weakness if you have mental health, but it's not now because it's really serious. And we got Coach Wilson and Coach Manny, help our kids, try to make them express themselves where they're at. So I do look at body language with my kids, and I look at my body language, and I know before I go out there, I got to say, okay, I can't show them that I'm really upset, because I do get upset. I get upset, especially when I think, like, the refs didn't make the right call.
Yeah.
And then they tell me a couple of days later they did make the, well, how'd I go to my kids and say, I'm getting on you for the penalty, but you were right, so you got to go back and apologize to that kid. So your mental health is big, because there's a lot have to do with it right now in this game of football.
I know that you have a very close relationship, with your brothers. Are those the first people that you call when a loss happens, and how does that conversation go?
Well, the first person after a loss usually is going to be Mom.
Okay.
She's going to reach out first. She's going to reach out with her prayers, and and she's going to hit you up the group chat, and then she will say, hey, then it'll usually my brothers, Sammy and Vance and Terry and Derek. So they'll hit boom, 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 and it's like when any of us lose, we know losing like stings us. So we do reach out to try to say, man, you got to move on to the next week. So, and that's what I've been getting, Mickey, you got to get them back. You got to get them back mentally, but they're really talking to me because they know, like, I need to play this week. The kids don't really need to play this week, but I need to play this week, just to get it off my chest. But I know I have to wait. And so we just going to work, to get going. But they know to watch me, when it comes after a loss.
Okay. Speaking of brothers, you reunited with Eric Dooley whenever you made him your offensive coordinator for this season. What was that conversation like? How does it feel to be back?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't much of a conversation. It was like, Dooley, I'm about to take this Grambling job. Can you meet me down there?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I'll meet you down there. So it was like, it was already done, with what happened with Dooley at Southern. I didn't think he got a fair shot there. I thought that was, he just went to the SWAC championship game. So, sometimes it's personal when people do things on this level. But, it was not a long conversation. I've been knowing Dooley for a long time, know his family, know his daughters, know his grandson. So it's like we family. So it was like, I need your help. I need you to come down and help me, because you always want to surround yourself with guys that but it helps to have guys like Dooley and Rollins, because they've been head coaches. So they'll tell you, and they shoot you straight. They don't say, okay, agree with something that they think's going to hurt us. They'll tell me, and that's one thing I know I'm gonna get out of Dooley. He's gonna tell me, and we work good together. We work good together because we bounce ideas off each other. And if he don't have the call, then I'll have the call, and that's how it was when I was here in 1450. So it's a blessing to have him back.
Okay. And speaking of brotherhood, I noticed that you have a bracelet on.
Mm-hmm.
When did you become a member? What made you want to be a part of a great brotherhood, and how are you able to apply that in coaching your guys?
Well, Mega Sci-Fi, like I said, I pledged, in 1990. I went over summer 90, August 12th, 1990. And I was, it helped me, because like I said, my undergrad, at Nebraska, and you asked, like, yeah, we were wilding, because it was like it was a state where football was the number one thing, football. So wherever you went, it was like a celebrity. You signing autographs, and you were living pretty good, So, and it was like, hey, just running, And then these guys, came in. But I was introduced to it, when I was in high school. I was introduced to to the Bros when I was in high school, and so when I got to college, I thought that was the only fraternity that to be a part of. I think that's one one of the bright spots in my life, when I was able to cross the burning sands, with Omega Psi Phi, because it changed your life. It changed your life, and I think every young African American man need to pledge a fraternity.
Okay.
I think they should, because it shows you discipline, and it humbles you. It breaks you down. It makes you really understand who you are. And I was just flamboyant. Just I'm out here. But do what I want. But so now, I'm vocal, but I understand I can't do what I want, because the brothers, Elijah Hanks, my DP at the time, he keeps in touch with me to this day, and he's a big guy that influenced me when I was at Nebraska. That I spent a lot of time with him, because he knew I was from New Orleans. I was in Nebraska. Nobody was telling me no, but he has a hold on. He had a hold on me. To this day, he still does. So I appreciate what everything the brothers have done for me. But it's Q Psi Phi till I die. If I die, Q Psi Phi.
Okay, period. Do you still see your line brothers consistently? I know.
I talk to them, but one's in Buffalo, one's in Kansas, one's in Chicago, one's in Colorado. So they're all over. One's in Wyoming. One coach in Mike Grant, he's in Wyoming. So we all over. But you still talk to them on a regular basis. And they'll try to stay in touch, and they'll be out here for homecoming.
Okay, so we'll be able to see you hop at homecoming?
No,
Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm retired from that.
No, you can't retire. You have to pull that out for Grand Fam. We need to see a little 1-2.
Okay.
Atomic Dog. We need to see a little something.
Just a 1-2 then, yeah. Quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
It can't be quick. It needs to be longer than quick.
All right.
But I'm expecting that, so we're going to hold you to it. So we're going to come and find you.
All right.
So we can
I'll
see
see.
the Atomic Dog.
Okay. No, I won't wear my gold boots.
Why not?
No.
That's a part of the outfit.
Now, part of the outfit is right here.
Oh,
here.
In the heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Period. If you could make up a Mount Rushmore of your favorite quarterbacks or more influential quarterbacks in your career and how you continue to coach, who would they be?
Well, you always start off with Doug.
Okay.
You always start off with Doug, because, everybody was a fan of Doug Williams when he was at Grambling. When he was at Grambling, especially you being a Louisiana kid. Doug was the guy. Doug was the guy that you looked up to, because he was the guy you saw, and then you see him, playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to the Redskins and winning that Super Bowl as the first black quarterback, and the only one, So you always say Doug Williams, when you start off. And then, another one was the guy people Jamel Holloway, that was the quarterback at Oklahoma. He was one of the guys, and guys I play with, Steve Taylor, guys like that, that you reach out and you can touch. But it's a slew of young African American quarterbacks that just dialing it up in the NFL, and you're happy to see that, because I went to a high school where I was the first black quarterback, at a predominantly white school, so it wasn't easy, and everybody was like, you was this, you was that. Oh, it wasn't easy. And because it's never really open arms back then. But my high school coach believed in me, Hank Tierney. And so it was always Doug Williams was a guy that you looked up to.
So who are some of your favorite athletes right now that are currently in the league?
My kids, Jamar, Chase, Justin Jefferson, DJ Chark, Russell Gage, Trey Palmer, Racing McMath, Derek Dillon, just I got a slew of them.
The list goes on.
Yes, but even when I was here, I had NFL guys, Chad Williams and Chester Rogers, they were NFL guys, and that's my favorite. When I can see those kids go out there and play, it makes you feel good. And I think I got some NFL guys here, but they got to get out their own way, and they gotta let us help them. And I think, we keep harping on them. They're going to be kids that can play on Sundays. But my favorite guys are my kids that I coached, and because you had conversation with them. Hey man, you do this, you're gonna make some money, And you got one of the guys. He's the highest paid receiver in the league. The next guy, Chase, he'll get his money also. But just you're happy to see those kids make it.
As a head coach, how do you define success? Is it in the wins? Is it in the losses? Or is it in the growth that happens over time?
Well, I think when people outside the building look at it, it's with the wins and losses. I think we look at success as what type of man we mold this young man into be, and winning helps, because at the end of the day, you want to win. You want kids to get used to winning. So you study for that test and you pass that test. That's winning. You go to that job interview and you get that job. That's winning. You want it. That's winning. And so sometimes it don't happen on the field. Sometimes it happens in the weight room. Sometimes it happens in the classroom. It happens in the meeting room. But you want to teach them how to win. And I always tell you, you got to win. You got to work. You got to work. The only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. So you got to work to have success. So we always want our kids to work on and off the field. And we have to work as coaches. Because we have to adjust to them. And I tell our coaches all the time, it's a different generation. And they're the why generation. They want to know why. So you need to tell them why. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I say, just do what I tell you. But sometimes that don't work, because they need to understand what they're doing. So for to have success with us, it takes a group of people to do it. And what we try to do is be honest. Be honest with them. This is where you're at. This is for you to be successful. You need to do this. But one thing we have to do, we have to trust you to be able to help you with your success.
So before many games, we see athletes with their headphones on. I believe we will never see you with headphones on unless it's actually during the game.
No, I do have headsets.
You have headsets?
Yeah.
What do you listen to before the game?
Ooh, man, a lot.
Okay,
A lot.
Name your top 3 artists.
Lil Wayne,
Okay.
because he's from New Orleans, and Moneybag. Yeah,
You like Moneybag Yo?
Mm-hmm.
I love Moneybag.
I like Moneybag, yo.
Do you have any female artists that you like?
I used to like Nicki Minaj, but I haven't heard it in a while.
Her album Pink Friday 2 just came out.
Oh, then okay.
You need to go listen.
Yeah, I listen to her. She spits a little bit.
She does.
Yeah, she spits a little bit.
No,
And what's my girl? The girl out of St. Louis.
Sexy Red.
Yeah.
You like Sexy Red?
I heard a song before, and I thought I had an opportunity to be a rapper because I heard her rap. She's just talking.
I'm out here in Miami.
She's just talking.
Let me find out you listen to Sexy
No,
Red.
I don't listen to her, but I heard a song, and I was like, man, I can do that.
It was a bop. It wasn't. It was dancing.
No, she got good music. She got good beats.
Okay.
Yeah, she got good beats.
Okay, so I need you to choose between these 2 artists that are from Louisiana. Are you going to choose either Boosie or Webby? I just have to know which one would it be for you on a playlist.
I'm gonna choose both of them. I can't.
No,
my boy Mel over Thrill Entertainment.
No, you have to choose one. Mine would be Boosie because we have him during undergrad. We stroll to him.
Yeah.
So I love Mighty Down.
I think Boosie. But Webby's good too, though.
Okay, so both.
Yeah, I'll do both.
Oh, I guess that's the all right answer. You got to. You're being neutral. I like that.
Yeah,
Respect.
drop it in the middle. I'm
Okay.
gonna have to run into them dudes and do somebody here say this.
They just gonna dap you up. It's gonna be cool.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Oh, okay.
They're good people.
Period. My last question for you is: whenever you decide to, move on from coaching and to just live your life, what do you want to be remembered for?
Well, that I influenced a lot of people's lives. That I was always there. To help them. If they was in a hole, I didn't throw them a shovel. I threw them a rope. So I want to, just be remembered for that. But just when I'm done here, I'm rolling. I'm gone. Just take me some time and be gone away for a month. Go to the Dominican Republic. Go to the DR for like a month. I need to buy me some land out there.
You should.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Is it?
That's what they said. So I got to check.
Well, yeah, you need to research.
I know. I will. I have people to do that.
I would love for you to give a message to Grambling and all of their supporters.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be
Well, I think that we're on the right course, for us getting this thing back to where we need to go. We're on a 7-game season right now. We have 7 games left. We dropped one to PV that was hurtful, really hurt. But we still have life, and we still have every goal that's in front of us, and it's a lot of pressure. But right now, pressure's a privilege for us right now because something tremendous is about to happen. We know that. So we're not going to let that pressure, get us to the point where we're uptight. We know what's ahead of us. We know now everybody that's on the list, Now we really take you one by one. And now, now we pissed off because we know we dropped one that we shouldn't have dropped.
Yeah.
So now we upset. So it's been a little different in that office. Everybody's kind of on edge, ready to get after each other's throats because they know it. And that's how we want it. And that's what, Grambling deserves to win. And that's what we're here to do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.